plus 3.
All right, start us out, Jimmy. Elias, if they're talking about a length and a width here, what do you think they might be talking about? Of what kind of shape? Like a triangle? I don't think we normally talk about triangles having length and width. What sort of shapes do we normally talk about having length and width? Squares and rectangles. So I have a feeling that up here they're talking about a rectangle, so let's go ahead and draw a rectangle in this open space that we have. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Well, let's draw a rectangle up there. That's what happens when the angle is going too fast. It wrecked. So then, Major, can you tell me which of these, like what I should label where? Sorry, I know the tower's kind of in the way for some of you guys. Yeah, one of the sides is going to get X. Should X be my smaller side or my bigger side? Yeah, X is going to be my smaller side. If my left side is X, what about my right side?
X.
Wouldn't it be the same?
X. Yeah, X.
So guys, be careful because I know I put this silly little joke here. Have we talked about Y yet?
No.
Not really, right? Because we haven't. We're not there yet. So, like, we're not talking about this. We got X for the one side. Now, Owen, what about the other, like the longer part of that rectangle? Did they tell us anything in the table? From what you see in the table, we filled in the length. Can you spot how we would label them?
W. It's 2 times X.
Where'd you see that? And it's not just 2 times X. That's why I want you to look at it again.
Plus 3.
Yeah, the width, they tell us, is 2 times X plus 3. So let's label the width 2 times X plus 3. And the top could also be 2 times X plus 3.
Would Isaac Bailey please report to the Perry office for just a moment? Isaac Bailey to the Perry office for just a moment, please.
So they show us, after this problem, Jimmy, actually, grab a seat. You're not going to leave halfway through the first one, then you're just going to come back confused. So we're going to take this rectangle and what we see in the table and do some algebra because that makes more sense than the 5D process. They missed too small, they missed too big. Okay, so we could, what's the answer going to be between? X is going to be between. Yeah, it's going to be between those, but that's because like they gave us a couple fails already, right? So let's go ahead and try to turn this into algebra. And on your paper, like this is still white on your paper, but these little arrows are trying to get you to look up at this. Here's their perimeter. They've got X twice, just like our picture has X twice, left and right. And they've got 2X plus 3 twice. So on our paper, let's write this down. We've got X plus 2X plus 3 plus 2X plus 3. Now, but what are they in the table? It shows us what we're trying to get to. What are we trying to get the perimeter to equal? 36, right? So we need to write equals 36. And I'm barely on the screen. All right, so Jimmy, don't worry, it's your card up, but all I'm going to ask you to do, read goal 1. What's our goal 1? So could I do X plus X?
Yeah.
What would I get with that? Okay, was asking Jimmy, but Josh is real chomping at the bit today. If I combine all of the X's, how many X's do we have? 6X, right? Because 2X is here, another 2X there, another 2X there. So let's combine them and get 6X. No, 2 minutes, man. 6X. what about the other numbers that don't have any x's involved? What do you think, Elias? The other numbers that don't have any x involved. We grabbed all the x's, so we got this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy. We already picked all those up, put them together. What do we still have left? The what? We already took those because we did 2x, 4x, 5x, 6x, right? That's how we got to 6. What about the numbers I didn't underline? The 3's. What's 3 plus 3? Yeah! So we get 6x plus 6 equals the perimeter they want us to get to. Can you go ahead and write that down then? Elijah, what is goal 2? What is goal 2? Or actually, sorry, read what comes after goal 1. Read that first. The now. So the whole point with algebra is that if we start equal, we got to keep it equal. So what is goal 2, Elijah? So constants are the numbers without the letters, right? So I got 6 and I got 36. But which of these are we trying to clear from the variable side? So can anyone take a guess at what you want to do on both sides to keep it equal? It's on both sides. You got to do on both sides. Don't worry, you'll hear it a lot. What do we need to do to clear that constant? If my constant is the plus 6, how could I clear it out? Lakin? Yeah, and where are we going to subtract 6? On both sides! So we're going to write it on both sides. Where do you get this one paper quicker? I can send you to the restroom. So do that subtraction. What happens when you do 6 minus 6? Yeah, it clears it out. It does what we wanted. We wanted to clear it out. But what do you still have on the left side?
6x.
The 6x equals what?
30.
Make sure you do the subtraction over here. So if 6 times x equals 30, Hal, what is goal 3? Jackson, what's goal 3? Coefficient. Guys, I would grab a highlighter and code this on your paper somehow. The coefficient is this 6, and I can't really highlight this very well. I'm actually going to try to draw an arrow to it, I think. Coefficients. What does co mean?
Like double?
Together, or with, right? So the coefficient is the number with the variable, that's 6. So if it's 6 times x, anyone want to take a guess at what we do to undo the 6 times? Ooh, switch that state. We're going to divide by 6. So guys, what you want to show to undo this multiplication, we're going to divide. Can I just divide on the left?
No, on both sides.
On both sides. On both sides. It's because if you have a little math soundboard, right? Maybe I should make a math soundboard, but I feel like there needs to be a button for on both sides, on both sides, on both sides. I do this because it helps sink it into your memory, because you'll be solving one of these problems with, this person's annoying voice on both sides. But it will help you. Trust me. As I get more annoying, I've learned as a teacher, as I get more annoying, it helps your memory. So when we divide by 6 on both sides, what do we get? X is then equal to what?
5.
And remember, like we said yesterday, we don't need to say 1x, but we can. But yeah, now we get x is equal to 5. Get it on your paper. Try that next one. Start chatting with your partners. What do you think is going on in that next problem? Could you set it up? Could you do the algebra? Could you solve it? You know everything from that table. Alright, start looking at your red, blue, green marbles. You do not need to do trial 1. You can if you want to, but you don't need to. Yeah, so that next part shows you what you could do for like trial 1. You don't have to do it. Hey, office. Just gonna let them know. You got a student heading down for an ice pack, and we also just wanted to make sure that they were efficient. It's EC.
Divide by 6. Because that's an important step you don't want to forget. You can't just leave it like that.
You don't have to do the trials if you want to avoid doing the 5D process. Like you can, but like, did you get the right answer?
I knew that too. We don't need that.
Like that's fine. But like, did we get the right answer? If not, we're either going to keep trying and failing until we get it right, or we can do algebra.
Are you guys doing the 5D process here, or are we going to do some algebra like what we did up here? That's a good way to do it if you don't want to do the 5D process. So if you don't want to do this whole 5D process thing, you can do what we did up here and combine.
Because there's this weird thing about being an adult with a job, you got to lead a group of people.
It might be helpful to rewrite it all, but you can always combine if you want to highlight. Remember, like, you want to highlight the X's and highlight the.
It's up to me to decide the vibe of the class.
Math block.
It is. That was on the announcement screen. Reese, help me out. Do we see at least part of the equation we could use up here? Yeah, just like in the other one. Where is it? I mean, so if we want to keep doing their trial, sure, like we did yesterday, we could do that. We could do the 15 times 2, then plus 5. Like, so we could, but that's the 5D. If we want to turn this into algebra, Jackson, I don't want the answer. We want how to get there. What is the part of the equation we're going to start with? Just like in the last slide, where we pulled from the table, we pulled our equation out and said we want to try to equal that. What is that situation over here? Where's our equation?
The total bar.
It's right here. So let's copy that down so we have it. We got x plus x minus. Can we do x minus 2? And that 2, is it positive or negative? It's really like guys, I would write this as plus negative 2 because that is really like impacting this negatively. Hey, we're going to have as much time to do closure as you guys give us, but until I see things on papers, I'm assuming you need more time. So I will give you more time. Okay. Don't worry, if they really need me, they know I can keep my cell phone close. All right, didn't miss much. Didn't miss much. And then 2x, and is that 5 positive or negative? Positive, right? Because it's just a regular plus 5. So we can leave that as just like plus 5. Guys, it's the negatives. It's the subtraction. Like, those are your trap doors. Caroline, can you see what this is supposed to be equal to in this situation? Yeah, they say we're supposed to be equal to 71. So we pull that and say, okay, we want to equal 71. If you need to look back up on the paper, what is goal 1, Josh? What's goal 1? Combine like terms. Can you help me color code these? Because you guys might want to grab a highlighter and color code on your paper. What can go with X, Josh? Yeah, the next x. Anything else?
X.
And the 2x. Anything else?
No.
Nope. So how many x's do we have?
4.
4. Okay, are you going to be able to sit here with your back to and actually pay attention? Because you either got to keep turning around or you got to swing where your seat is at. Alright, so 4 x's. Liam, what about my constants? What constants do I have? So we're in the marble problem in case you got lost on your paper. We're looking at the total marbles box. Oh, and can you help them out? I don't know why you're wasting your time balancing a pencil if you haven't already thought through this. Lake, are you able to help your dudes out?
Yeah.
What are our constants?
5
The 5 and
and -2.
the -2. Guys, if you don't know what you're doing, you need to be paying attention right now. I don't expect you to know this. I'm teaching you. But this needs to be on your paper so you can use it when it comes up on your homework. So what do you get with a 5 and a -2? Careful, who wins? Good guy or bad guy?
3.
Yeah, the good guy wins by 3. And nothing happened on that right side yet. We're still equal to 71. Clayton, what's goal 2? You can look back down on your paper if you need to. What's goal 2?
How many 3
So guys, with this paper, this section right here, if my camera loads, this section is essentially going to apply to any time we're doing algebra. So like when I'm asking goal 1, goal 2, like these are our goals. So what's goal 2, Clayton? Hey guys, I love that Clayton said this wrong. This is not a consonant. Like, this is a constant. This means just numbers, no variables. So if you need to make that note on your paper that a constant is like just the number, yeah, just the number, no letters. So like no X or Y or Z or anything like that. The constants So, Jimmy, what's our constant up here in the last equation that I wrote? Our one right here. What's our constant? So you definitely didn't write down. I just asked you to write down, so I'm going to show it again. Where we have constants. Constants are what? Just number. This symbol means number. No X. We do not want an X when we're looking for constants. Write it down. So Elias, what's our constant here? Positive or negative? Positive 3. So to clear our positive 3, what do you want to do? Yeah, negative 3, subtract 3. Where are we going to do it? On both sides. So we're going to subtract 3, subtract 3. We show it on both sides. I mean, what equals 68? So we still have 4x. Make sure you do the subtraction over here. What is 4x equal to? 68. Major. If I have 4 times x, how do I undo multiplication? Divide. Guys, if you need that reminder, it's on your paper. here. Like, I put it down here if you guys want to highlight these things. If you're undoing addition, you subtract. If you're undoing multiplication, you divide, right? It's the inverse, the opposite operation. Okay, so what do you want to divide by? Not x. So that's the dangerous thing. I'm glad you said that, though. We want to divide by just 4, because what's 4 divided by 4? 1, and we want 1x. Our goal is get to 1x. So this 4 divided by 4 makes our 1. But do I just divide by 4 on the left?
No, on both sides.
On both sides. So what's 68 divided by 4?
Well,
You might need to grab a calculator. I don't think I agree with that.
what?
Jackson says his calculator got 17.
Yeah, because that makes sense. 17 times 4 is 68.
Yep, we divide by 4 on both sides. And we get our answer. So make sure you write the answer down. You can move over here if you need to. That x equals 17. We got our final answer.
Yeah, that's what I got here.
We got it all done. Flip to the back. Now this one is not in like variables yet, right? They aren't showing us a like here's your equation. Can anyone volunteer to tell me what you notice about Declan's earnings compared to Gwen? Take a moment to look at the table. Take a moment to look at the table. Take a moment to look at the table. What do we notice about Declan's earnings versus Gwen's? But how is she earning more? What? If I call Gwen's earnings X, what could I call Declan's? We don't want to use Y yet, though.
Y times X. No, it's not Y. X
Wait,
squared.
don't use Y.
Look at
X
the table.
times
You're
four.
guessing.
X times 4.
Are you guessing or are you telling? So when you're looking at the table, what do you notice about Gwen's versus Declan's? So if Gwen's, now be careful, that actually go under Gwen's. Guys, I think a lot of us just got there kind of at the same time. If Gwen is X, what's Declan?
X times 4.
Yeah, or it's honestly nicer to write it 4 in front of the X. So go ahead and put that on your paper. Go ahead and put that on your paper. Ooh, if you sit right here, I can just nudge you whenever I need. You nice like a massage chair, right? All right, X and 4X, X and 4X. What, Owen, are they trying to add up to? Declan and Gwen are trying to save some money together. What do they want?
475.
They want 475. So wait, X and 4X. What symbol would I put between the X and the 4X if I have X and 4X? Can I just leave them written like that with nothing between them? How do I say and? Like mathematics, if I have X and 4X. What? It's plus, right? I need Declan and, well, Gwen and Declan. And they're trying to equal how much?
475.
Elijah, what's goal 1? Flip back to the front and look at it if you need to. What's goal 1? Let's just do some under. So make sure you're ready. So don't want to put this down here because that's in our way. So go ahead and erase that. That eraser's better, just for what it's worth. So Elijah said combine like terms. How many x is this first x? Just one. If we don't have a number, in front of it, it's just one. So 1x and 4x, how many do I actually have? 5x. Turn to your group and decide what you think we need to do next to finish this out. If you have 5x equals 475, how do we finish this out? How do we finish this out? Jackson, do it again, you're out of my room. If you're already doing that before we start playing Jenga, I don't trust you to play Jenga. So bring it in. You're in a classroom. Already called me. Jackson, do you have a suggestion for what we could do? Okay. Reese, you got an idea for what we could do? You what? By what? Where? Yeah, because we got to keep it fair. This is 5 times. To undo multiplication by 5, we divide by 5. Please make sure that you're showing this so you can come back and look at this paper to know what to do. So we know the 5 divided by 5 leaves us with 1x, which is our goal. We always want to try to get to 1x. What was 475 divided by 5? How much? 95. It's in the wrong settings. Questions on that one? There, we only really had to combine and then divide. Try that last one on your own. When we finish that, we're taking a break and coming back and doing Jenga. You might want to draw a picture for that last one. You might want to draw a picture. Go ahead and start reading this. We're going to figure out how to set that up, and a picture might help us. Highlight anything that feels important. Draw a picture to represent this. Up to you. Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, you can take the rest of this. You have 1A also.
I normally actually, because he doesn't go to connections. So that's why I'm just going to double block it tomorrow with lesson.
I think it'd be beneficial.
Yeah, I just.
They word it differently.
Would anyone like to read? Clayton, you gonna hit the pauses?
Yes.
Hit the pauses.
What about a problem where 5D hasn't been set up? Can you build the equation for this problem and solve
We all nearly pause when there's something worth highlighting.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh, he's already messing up.
Not forget about that, guys. Don and what?
Myrna, I think.
Margarita.
Don and Myrna's father has asked them to build a rectangular pen for their dog. Pause.
You tell me what feels worth highlighting there.
74.
We haven't gotten there.
You just read the first
Thank
sentence.
you. Rectangle.
They have 74 feet of fencing. Pause.
74.
Do it with us and
Start
grab a
highlighting
highlighter.
it, Jimmy.
You're right, but you're not doing it. No, he's not highlighting. He's losing his reading ability. Elijah, were you wanting to read?
I need to read.
All right, Clayton can't read and highlight at the same time, apparently.
I'll read it.
Nope, we're throwing it to Elijah. You want to start reading it, Dave?
Lost your ability.
Go ahead. Wait, does that feel important? Pause! Pause! Like what Dave's dog was hitting me with all night long. Her paws. Isn't English silly? P-A-W-S versus P-A-U-S-E, right? Paws, like puppy paws versus paws. But, alright, so the length is one more than twice the width. Guys, this is where we keep struggling. How can I write the length is one more than twice the width? I'll take a volunteer because I know this is still kind of tough. What could I write for my L equals? Lakin? Yeah, twice the width. Well, we can use X or we could do 2W, right? W is fine to use. And one more than that, plus 1.
Who brought letters to
2W plus 1. No joke. We will get done as much of the closure as you give us time to. If we draw a picture, it might really help us set up our thinking. So, what would I label my left side over here? Anybody? Well, if I'm using W, I'd probably label it W. And then my right side? W also. What about the top? Ooh, that's that 2W plus 1. And the bottom, 2W plus 1. Wait. So then, what was goal number 1? Flip back to the front. If you need to, goal 1, combine our like terms. If we grab our W's first, how many do we have?
4.
Yeah, 2 more, 1 more, and 1 more, 6W.
Oh, I said 4.
Careful, because a couple of them have 2 W's in them. So we have 6W. What about our constants? 2, right? Because a plus 1 and a plus 1. Any questions on how I got 6W plus 2?
Any questions?
You're missing it. 6W plus 2. What is it going to equal? How much fence do they have?
Jimmy.
If you want to do that, but then write what you need to write, I don't care. But what I care about is that we need to write what we need to write. How much fence do they have?
74.
74, right? So we know they're allowed to total up to 74. I want you to try to totally solve for W with your team. I want you to try to totally solve for W with your team. You got the equation up there. You've got part of the equation, the 6W plus 2. You're missing the equals part that turns it into the equation. So make sure your team understands what you're doing. You don't even have the rest of the equation up there, Clayton. Equals 74. Then you guys got to talk to each other about what on both sides stuff to do. What on both? What are you gonna do on both sides first?
So 74.
Yeah, so make sure everyone's writing it. We're showing it on both sides. We're showing it. What are you calculating over here? Huh? Nothing. Well, then what are we doing here? Because this is what we're supposed to be doing. What is there a reason that you didn't write that we divided by 5 to get there? Okay, what's that reason? Okay, but what I specifically directly asked you to do is show the work. So could you do what I asked maybe? So then down here, what you're trying to cover up for me is I don't know how you got these numbers. And this is not algebra if we just try it out until it works. That's like 5D process. You need to learn how to do the algebra. So write down 6W plus 2 equals 74. Then we're going to show our work for what we're doing. So what did you say we're going to do on both sides first? Minus 2, right? To get rid of that plus 2, so we're going to minus 2 from both sides.
Bro, what are you talking about? We are spreading
Elijah, can you tell me what we would do first? Where? Hey, we're coming back together now. Elijah, what'd you say? We're going to take away 2. Yeah, so on both sides, we get 6W. Sorry, my 7's a little funky. Please. How, Elias, do I get rid of that 6? Is it added? Yeah, your little phone a friend back there. It's multiplied. Hey, you might want to make this note. Guys, you might want to make this note on your paper. This is multiplication. So we divide. Because what's 6 divided by 6?
0. 1.
1. You have to slow down, man. Every time you rush, you get it wrong. Like, I hate to tell you, but when you rush, you most often are saying the wrong thing. So what's W end up equaling?
12. Wait, no. No, not. Oh, yeah, 12. Yeah,
I think I believe you on 12.
12.
Wait,
Now hold on.
You said W. I was like,
If the width is 12, what's the length actually?
the length is 25.
What's 2 times 12 plus 1 more? This length actually should be 25. Questions? You need to show that process written out to myself or Mrs. Fisher to get to go on your break. You need to be back by 11:10. We need to see it written out. Alright, take a break. You back in 5 or less. Back in 5 or less. I mean, as long as you can read it, that's all that was like. Arrgh, Jimmy's a pirate now. So you're a pirate now. Nice, be back within 5. Nice, be back within 5. You're good, yeah, you're good. Be back within 5. And then no one should be leaving during Jenga. You're
Divide by
good.
6. Yeah, nobody gonna leave during Jenga. Divide by 6. So you need to make sure you're doing steps.
So we keep bringing it down. We kind of like keep our
You're like not doing it over here.
We'll do more of this next week. But then like we wanted to bring this down right below where it was. Because this turns into 1W. So we're just going to put W there equals to 12. Then be back within 5, guys. I'm going to take a little walk and keep half an eye on these guys.
played solitaire in a long time. I used to play it a lot on my computer. It's been a hot minute though. Do you play it on the computer at all, or? Yeah, sometimes. Paralyzed. I'm not sitting there. I'm just sitting there for watching. We're not doing that because we're not doing that with the others. So once he goes off our people, I don't think Mr. Hudson would appreciate that.
So, on top of that.
There's cats. Wondering why.
Ooh.
I already told you you're probably not gonna like it.
You know Jurassic World games I would tell you that you know well, I got close. No. I was running from my dad who was the T-Rex, and this is what happened. He stops cars like this. What are you doing? I got close. The car stops. He was right there. Yeah. I have one of those ones. So I have very many ones.
You know who Magic Castle is? A white? You know who Magic Castle is?
Yeah.
Okay, do you see him more with me or Caroline?
What?
No.
Wait,
Yes. It's my husband. I'm going to see my husband.
I see. What?
No. Do you know who Magic Castle is?
Mattis Matson?
Matt is my husband with an X. He wants me.
Maddox
No,
Matson?
he's Magic Castle.
What are you, Maxon?
You
You like
know
fiction
who
or
Magic
something?
Castle is? Do you see him more with me or with me? Do you see it with me or Caroline?
I don't even know.
Bro, you're supposed to say me. Like, this friendship is like.
Alright, I gotta restart.
Okay, I see you with Caroline.
Why do you